What's up, boys? MKTV here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today we do have a Game Week 1 differentials video for you. If you do enjoy, smash thumbs up, subscribe. Without further ado, let's get straight into things. So to be classed as a differential has to be below 10% owned. This means below 10% of FPL managers playing the game that have them in their squad. And yeah, to kickstart things off, we do have the goalkeepers. Let's get straight in that. Coming in, we have a 4 million option, a 4.5 and a 5. So from left to right, they're going to get progressively higher in price in each of the little tiers. To kick things off, we do have Kelleher of Liverpool is linked heavily to a move to Wolves. So yeah, coming in say as the Wolves keeper as 4 million. It looks decent, to be fair. The other options, obviously Jose Sa seems to be falling out of favour there. But yeah, potentially a move to Wolves would make him the #1 choice. We'll see how that goes. And yeah, coming in at 0.4% owned, really nice differential. And especially as, you know, like Areola is the most 4.0 mid-owned goalkeeper. You could go for a Kelleher if he moves to Wolves as a backup, potentially with a 4.5 like Flecken as well. So we're going to be moving on to Flecken there. And coming in at Brentford as well, could be the #1 choice there. We do have to wait to see with David Raya, if he does leave the club or whatever. But yeah, coming in at 3.2% owned, really nice differential there as well. Has started a preseason game as well yesterday, I do believe. And 4.5 million, pairing him up with a 4 million goalkeeper, say Kelleher and Flecken, could be a really nice choice to switch between the two of them if they are both playing, of course. We'll know that more closer to the time of the start of the season. And finally, we do have Kepa Arrizabalaga of Chelsea coming in at 5 million this year. It is a little bit more expensive, but if you are looking at that, 1.9% owned, really low owned as well amongst FPL managers. And yeah, coming in really nice fixtures after, I think it's the first like 2 fixtures. They've Liverpool in the first one. Apart from that, they've a really nice run of fixtures in there, and potentially some clean sheets. If you're wanting to get into the Chelsea defence, Kepa could be the most nailed on amongst the back line, so it could be a really good way of getting in there. And yeah, 1.9% owned, really nice differential there. That's the goalkeepers. We're not going to waffle too much on them. Let's move straight on to the defenders. So the defenders, this is where things get a little bit more interesting in my opinion. As I said as well, from left to right, it is going to be progressively a bit more expensive and stuff depending on your budgets. But yeah, we're going to start at 4.5. I don't really think there's much reason to start at 4 million. Again, this is just kind of guessed, and Malagusto probably the best option there differential wise. But yeah, coming in first, Wan-Bissaka, 4.5 million for the Manchester United defence. Has played as well a lot of preseason games so far, which is very decent. Again, not nailed on as a right back for Manchester United. Obviously Diogo Dalot there as well, but potentially if he is nailed on towards the start of the season, again, these are kind of ones you're going to be keeping an eye on, a little tab on. Write them down, have them, and come back to them, say, in a few weeks' time. If they look nailed on, brilliant. And yeah, coming in at 1.8% owned, really nice. And if you can get into the Manchester United defence for 4.5 million as a right back, could be a really good option there as well, Wan-Bissaka, but only time will tell with that one. Moving on, then we do have Pedro Porro. Now, I really like this option under Postecoglou as well of Spurs. I do believe I said his name right there. Hopefully I did. And yeah, coming in at 5 million, could be the right wing, or could be playing as a right winger potentially as well. I've seen some leaks there. The way he wants to set up and stuff as well, Postecoglou at Spurs. Obviously will take some time to get used to that, but even if he doesn't, as a right back, he could be a really attacking right back for Spurs. And 4.2% owned, really nice. He did score a lot of goals last season as well in a short space of time, some assists, really creative player, and obviously has the potential as well to get clean sheet points and stuff as well if the Spurs do keep a clean sheet. But yeah, really like the look of him. 4.2% owned, a nice one to keep a tab on as well and see how it progresses. And finally, the most expensive option in the defense that we have here is going to be Ruben Diaz of Manchester City. Mainly nailed on in my opinion. I think he will play a lot of games this season. 5.5 million as well, a little bit more premium, but for 7% owned, a really nice way to get into the Man City defense for a low ownership as a differential. You could go for John Stones. He's about 20-something% owned. But yeah, I like the looks of Ruben Diaz as well. Could be a really nice option. Does always come up with a goal the odd time. And yeah, they're the options I do have in defense for differentials. Let me know if you're going to go for any of them as well, and let's move straight on. Now, boys, this is where things get really interesting. I'm really liking the look of these 3 options here. Coming in right now, as of, it is currently 3 o'clock on the 24th of the 7th, 2023. And these players have just been announced in the game, I think an hour ago. Harvey Barnes and Diaby. And they're 0% owned at the time of recording this. It could be wrong when you're looking at it. It could be 5% owned for both of them. But at the moment, they are both 0% owned. And these are players that I don't see them going above 10% straight away. Harvey Barnes obviously having moved to Newcastle. I think it was yesterday, the day before, finalising that. And yeah, coming in at 0% owned, 13 goals in the league last season as well, a proven goal scorer in the Premier League. Coming in at 6.5 million, really, really nice price tag. Obviously, Alan Saint-Maximin potentially leaving, so you could have that left side on lock. But again, only time will tell with game time and stuff in regards to this. But a really nice differential there as well if you are trying to just throw in an option there from Newcastle in the attack. And he's the same price as Almiron, so potentially really nice option there. Harvey Barnes always has an eye for goal. And coming in at 0.0 ownership, what's happening there? Next, we do have Moussa Diaby of Villa as well. Did also get released there into the game. And coming in 6.5 million, a proven goal scorer as well in the Bundesliga. Always pops up with a goal. Plays centre forward sometimes as well for them. I do expect him to play off the right and left wing more so. Probably more so off the right, I'd imagine. Again, I could be wrong with that. Emery could have other ideas. But 0% owned at the moment as well. Coming in at 6.5 million. I personally thought he'd be at least 7 million. So 6.5 is really, really nice for him. And Aston Villa look very, very strong. The signings they've made and stuff. Obviously, we'll have to see how they do play it in pre-season and obviously towards the start of the season and that. But yeah, really a nice option there as well for 6.5 million Diaby. If you're looking for a differential for game week 1 as well, pop him into the team and see how he does against Newcastle. Next, we do have the main man, Kevin De Bruyne. Now, the fact I'm calling him a differential feels really, really weird. This 10.5 million, a premium price tag on him. Maybe not so much as Salah, 2 million more and that kind of thing. But still, 10.2%, 10.2 million, 10.5 million. What am I saying? And yeah, midfielder from Manchester City, always pops up with goals and assists. The main man, probably City's best player, apart from Erling Haaland for goal scoring ability. But most creative player without a doubt. 5.7% owned. I couldn't believe that. Obviously, is looking like he's a little bit injured. Going into the start of the pre-season and season and stuff. If he is fully fit though, really, really nice option as well. Obviously, I do believe that's the reason he is a little lower percent owned. The fact he was injured or flagged on FPL as well, the Dorito or whatever. But yeah, really nice option there, 5.7% owned. Obviously, you can't throw him in. If he plays, he plays. He doesn't. You probably don't want to do that spending 10.5 million. But it's just someone to keep an eye on as well. I like the look of 10.5 million as well. It isn't the worst price tag. You can go from like a Marcus Rashford to him for just 1.5 million more. And obviously will guarantee you goals and assists when he does play. It is just getting him to play. That's the issue. But yeah, let's move on. Have another look at the forwards. And then have some extras as well and stuff to throw in towards the end of the video. So yes, we do have some interesting forwards here as well. If you haven't seen this one, Raul Jimenez from Wolves to Fulham is a here we go as well from Fabrizio Romano. And coming in at 5.5 million in FPL this season. He could be an absolute bargain at that price. There is Vinicius as well at 5 million. Did score yesterday in pre-season, if you did see that. But I do believe if they're going to spend 5.5 million in real life as well on Raul Jimenez, he is going to be the main choice striker, I believe. Or at least get a lot of game time. So yeah, 0.5% owned. I really like the look of this one. Raul Jimenez at Fulham. And I do believe Fulham's attack is good. They always put up good numbers. You see Mitrovic as well, always chips in with a lot of goals. Looks like he is leaving to Saudi. It is one to keep an eye on as well, Raul Jimenez. I like the look of it. Let me know what you think as well. Is it a decent differential? But I just think it is a very, very interesting one. Less than 1% owned as well, which is very, very interesting. And yeah, one to definitely look on towards the start of the season. If you have the likes of 4.5 million striker at the moment or forward at the moment, and you want to upgrade to a 5.5 that always plays, Raul Jimenez could be your man for that. Next, we're going to move on to one that I've had in my team several times in draft so far. It is going to be Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Everton's number 9 is always injured. That's the only issue I have with this player. He is always coming through with injuries. When he's in the peak of form, when he has a run of games, he is unplayable. He always scores goals on penalties for Everton. He will score goals. That's what does happen when he does play. The issue is when he doesn't play, he is always injured. 6 million coming in at this season as well. I think it's a really, really good price for him. 3.1% owned at the time of recording the video. Really, really decent. You know, not a lot of people have him in the team at all. Really low owned in this game so far as well by FPL managers. Everton's number 9. If he does play, he will score goals. Simple as. Just keeping him fit. But for 6 million, he is definitely someone I'd want to keep an eye on. And finally, we do have Nicholas Jackson of Chelsea. Now, if you did see the pre-season game against Brighton, 3-3 finish in Summer Series, this man was on fire. 2 assists and a goal, I do believe, for him. 7 million price tag in FPL. He is a little bit more expensive than the likes of Calvert-Lewin and Raul Jimenez, but I think at 2.6% owned at time of recording this video, he could be someone to definitely keep an eye on. I'm not saying put him in your team straight away, because it could be a bit of a risk if he doesn't play or has to, you know, get the play style and stuff in the way Pochettino wants to set up Chelsea. but he is definitely someone to keep an eye on. And at 7 million, he could be a bargain towards when the fixtures do get a little bit better for Chelsea after a few game weeks. And yeah, 2.6% owned, really, really low owned. So if you did want to just throw in a differential instead of like the likes of Nkunku, you can go ahead and do that for Chelsea. And finally, I do have extras here as well, boys. These are going to be kind of players that are more kind of guaranteed minutes, in my opinion. Obviously, you know, that play for their teams, and they are kind of players that have been in FPL last season, done really well, and previous seasons. They're kind of more guaranteed. You're guaranteed minutes with them, and that kind of thing as well. First up, we do have James Tarkowski of Everton, 3.3% owned at 4.5 million, and he's a defender. I think this guy as well, his attacking threat is really, really good. He always pops up with a goal. And he's someone that could, you know, instead of if you wanted to go against the likes of Botman on your bench, you could go for a Tarkowski. He has some decent fixtures. I do believe Fulham at home in game week 1. The defensive numbers for Everton are not the best, but under Sean Dyche, if you believe it's something that will improve, could be a really, really good option there as well, just to have on the bench for when he plays against, say, the likes of Luton at home or something. I'm not saying no offense to Luton, but if you wanted to play him against, you know, save him for good fixtures, and he'd always pop up with a goal, like a goal against Arsenal last season. But yeah, next we do have Gibbs White of Nottingham Forest, a midfielder as well. Towards the latter end of the season last season, he was on penalties as well. Did take over from Brennan Johnson. There's also rumours of Brennan Johnson going to Brentford, so it could be potentially a good option differential there. But at 3.9% owned, he's going to play most games for Nottingham Forest. Potential penalty taker there as well for 6 million. He is someone you could definitely have a look at in your team if you're looking for, say, you've the midfield done, you only have 6 million left, who are you going to look at? Could be Gibbs White. Gibbs White could be your man for there in the midfield. And yeah, I really like the look of him as well. More solid minutes than the likes of Harvey Barnes and Moussa Diaby straight away. So you know he's going to play and potentially on pens. It's kind of a really, really good pick, Gibbs White. He's someone you could definitely look at when the fixtures get better for Forest, and a differential at 3.9% owned. Next, we do Solly Marsh. So I was kind of torn between him and Pascal Gross. At the moment in my team, I do have Pascal Gross as my midfield option for Brentford, or for Brighton. But Solly Marsh is definitely someone I did a look at as well. 3.1% owned, so less owned as well than Pascal Gross. 6.5 million, same price. Again, potentially could be on penalties with McAllister leaving. Solly Marsh or Pascal Gross, depending on who's playing. I imagine it's between one of them two. And really, really good numbers on a lot of set pieces as well, corners, assists, all that kind of stuff. Really nice goals as well. Does always pop up with a goal here and there. Really, really good season for him last season. Can he keep it up is the question, but as a differential at 3.1% owned, not guarantee, but will have a lot of minutes as well this season. Definitely a more solid pick than some of the other ones. But yeah, let me know, boys, who's your favorite differential that I've talked about in this video, or I haven't talked about in this video. Who is your favorite differential? Drop it down below as well in the comment section. We'll get back to all the comments as well, boys. Massive thank you. So, boys, let me know your favorite differential down in the comment section down below. A massive thank you for the support as well on the channel, boys. Do remember, hit that subscribe button. It helps out so much on the channel, helps it grow, helps it get out to more and more people. If this video did help you or get any, you know, maybe made you think about potentially some differentials and stuff there, drop a like as well. It helps out massively. And I'll catch you boys next time with the next one. Peace.